right now. I'm going to tell you how it is and just tell you the truth. I have friends from high school who did not graduate high school. I'm going to say it one more time. I have friends from high school who did not graduate high school. Now, I'm going to tell you what happened to them. Let's start with old boy. Let's call him G. This man G, he would skip school every day to smoke weed, man. Indian dude. You know, Indians don't be playing about school. I don't know what he was doing, but he was playing. He was playing, man. Skipping every day to smoke weed. Like, weed is such a weak drug. Do you even get high from it if you smoke it too much? Like, are you still getting high from the weed and you're just skipping school? Whatever. He skipped school, skipped whole years, whatever. Yeah, he got kicked out of high school, went to an alternative program, had to get his GED. Thankfully, he ended up getting his GED. But later down the road, now that I think about it years later, I thought about something. He wanted to put me in position where I had to get my GED and I couldn't finish high school. Good thing I was plugged in. Good thing I was plugged. If I wasn't plugged in, if I wasn't who I am, I wouldn't have graduated high school. And that's just to tell the truth. If I wasn't who I am, I wouldn't have graduated high school. I would have had to get my GED, and I would have been fucked like that. You know, I would have had to go to college just to look like an average person out here, man. Swear. Just to look like an average person, I would have had to go to college. He did not get he got a GED. He tried to get me to get a GED, asking me to skip school every day. I did it like a dummy. Skip school every day. I talked about it in an earlier video. Yeah, I skipped school every day and still got to play college football. Didn't get kicked out of school. Got to finish, whatever. But yeah, his GPA must have been like a 0.8 or some shit. 0.0 maybe. He got kicked out. Because you can fail like up to like 4 or 5 classes in high school, at my school at least, and still pass. But yeah, he had to get his GED. He got that. Skip school every day. You know, his dad bought him the Charger. He was known as the rich Indian, I guess, around school. He didn't finish. He had to get his GED. He thankfully got that. And yeah, that's that. He skipped school every day to smoke weed. He didn't do his schoolwork. He never did his homework, always on the Xbox. Somehow the Indian girls still give him a chance, even though if that was any other Indian guy, he would have never got a chance. I don't know why this dude gets a chance. I guess because he got the tats on his neck, the fresh cut every week. He gets a haircut every week. He's a fresh-ass Indian dude. But, hey, I guess, yeah, he got the GED. Now, the other friend group, there was a group of people because they all got expelled at the same time that had to get their GED. These are the ones that did not get their GED and did not get their high school diploma. One day in the bathroom, they're smoking a THC pen. Something like this, you know, in the bathroom. Janitor walks in, sees them smoking. He's like, hey, what are y'all doing? You know, he books them. He tells the principal, he tells them, hey, they're smoking this THC pen, getting high in the bathroom. They all get expelled, man. I remember them telling me I was walking down the hall to my next class. They're like, man, we about to get expelled. Man, we were smoking in the bathroom. They caught us. Whatever, it was like 3 people. Or it was 2 people I can think of off the top of my head. But I know there was a 3rd person with him. I just can't remember. So, yeah, they were smoking THC pens in the bathroom. They all get expelled. They have to go get their GED at another school 10 blocks down the street. I heard from someone actually recently, because I haven't talked to them in years, probably since like a little after, like 2 years after high school, I haven't talked to them. And I hear they did not finish their GED, which meaning they don't even have a high school education. And they spent 4 years in high school. So they wasted 4 years trying to get a diploma, got expelled, couldn't get the diploma. Now they had to get their GED. They did not get their GED. They did not finish. I guess they weren't striving for greatness, as LeBron would say. But, yeah, they didn't finish. You always got to finish high school, man. One of them owns a business now. He owns a construction business. I told him to do that in high school. I guess he took my advice. He owns a construction business. He doesn't profit, though. He basically works for free. All the money he makes, he puts back into the business. So he got a house, though. He got a house on the poorer side of Dearborn. That's what I hear, at least. He got a house. He's doing good for himself. He just doesn't have that GED. He still got jobs after high school. He worked like as a chef. Also, he worked in IT. I don't know how he worked in IT without a diploma or a GED, but he got it. He did it somehow. Quit that, started his own business. Went into construction, actually. Learned under the people that hired him. Started his own construction company. Actually, I remember him starting his construction company because I was still talking to him when he started. But now I guess he's doing better for himself than when he started. Yeah. And then his friend that was with him, the other dude, he works for a roofing company. He just worked lots of odd jobs after high school. Everybody else went to college, got their degree, got their master's degree, some pursuing a PhD, some in medical school. But yeah, I find it kind of crazy how the people who I hung around are the underachievers and the ones who didn't finish high school. Hey, but that's how it goes, especially as a black man. They aren't even black. None of them are black, though. All of my black friends that I grew up with all graduated high school. Most went to college. Most got their degree. One of them just got a job in cybersecurity. That's what my degree is in. I graduate next December. So in 5 months, I graduate. And yeah, they didn't get their degree. So that's how it goes for them. Well, it wasn't a degree. It was a diploma. They didn't get their diploma or GED. So they're forced into these odd jobs, forced into starting their own business just to make $1, man. Want me to tell you the real sauce? The real sauce is to keep a job, even go to college if you have to, if you want to make more. Just don't take on a lot of debt. Have your parents pay it off during whatever you need to do, whatever works, floats your boat. Keep your job, live off your job, and then save aggressively and use your earnings to put 10 to 30% down on the business. And then keep your job. Get an absentee business. Now you have two incomes, your job and your business. You should be making over $100K a year, especially if you went to college doing that. And then pay off for that business. Go in and buy the next business until your income from your business is so great. It doesn't make sense to work your job. You know, that's what you should be doing. That's what I plan to do. And I'm going to make millions doing that. I promise you that. I'm going to buy a bunch of businesses till I'm 60. I'm going to own my whole town, man. The town that I choose to live in, I'm going to own all them and the towns around them. All businesses. I hope to own 29 businesses by the age of 50. If I can do that, I'll be set for life. And you got to think about it. It grows exponentially. Once you buy your first business, keep your job, you're making double the income, triple the income that you were making when you only had the job. Pay off that business. Now it's all profit. So you were making $60K just at your job. Now you're making $180K with your job and your business after the business is paid off. Then you go in and buy your second business. This time a bigger business. This time you're making $180 a year. Live off that $40,000 a year. You know, live off $40,000 a year. You should have no debt. If you're making $180K, living off $40K a year, you should have no debt. Pay off all your debt. Your next business. Here's the sauce. Your credit should be so good, you should be able to put 10% down for an SBA loan. That way, it's over. $100,000 million business, that's $250,000 a year. Now you can quit your job off of buying two businesses. Off that. Now you can live off $40,000 a year for the next 10 years, 5 years. Keep buying businesses. That $250,000, once you pay off that in 4 years, 5 years, pay off that business. Now you're making what? 120 plus 250 a year, 370 a year, 370,000 a year. Now you put 3 million down, 300,000 down on a $3 million business. Ooh. Now you're making like 800K a year. Now it's over. You can fucking retire. You don't have to buy another business. But if you want to get that super wealth, you got to keep buying businesses. And that's the way to go. If you don't have a specialized skill to get you millions of dollars, like if you're not specialized enough to work at Amazon and get that $1 million contract, that $1 million deal, the athlete or entertainer getting those $1 million contracts, that's a way to get $1 million. Is by buying businesses, saving your money, saving aggressively, living under your means for about 10 years. That's all it takes. Then you can kick it up a notch, rent out the $2 million house once you buy your first 2-3 businesses. You can rent out the $2 million house just to keep your expenses low. That's if you want to keep buying. If you're fine with making $1.2 million a year, $1.1 million a year, then you can go buy your house, whatever. Buy your house, put a down payment down. You're making the money forever, 1.1 million. But if you want to keep building wealth, you keep buying businesses. That's how it keeps going. These NFL players, how do you think they make money after they're done with the league? What is the first thing that they're going to do? You tell me. Tell me, what are they? They're going to buy a business, man. That's what they're going to do. That's what you should be doing. You should be doing what they're doing, but with less capital. You have less capital, you play a different game. You keep your job, you save aggressively, you buy the business. You can buy it with loans. The government wants you to buy businesses with SBA loans. That's why they give them out. The government makes money off it, you make money off it. Make money to lose money to make money for you and the government. It's easier said than done, though, because you will have to take out loans once, to pay payroll for your employees and stuff, get last-minute loans. Sometimes you may miss a payment for your employees, but hey, you might get sued, whatever. But hey, you make money sitting on your ass. So you'll find a way to do it. You'll get savvy. If you buy your first 2-3 businesses without any hassles, without having to take out a loan for the business to pay off payroll, or the AC's down in the business, you need a new AC, whatever happens, then you're on a good route, man. A lucky route. Because if you have your hassle on your fourth business, you can afford to repair whatever is wrong with that business from your other businesses. But if you have something on that first business, that's will happen if you buy a cheap business. You put $30K down, buy a $300K business, that will happen to you, man. That will happen to you. You will have something to fix. You will have months without payroll, but you buy a good, healthy business for $1 million, you're good, bro. It's fine. It's hard to find a good business under $1 million, honestly. Maybe you can find one for $500K, but you would probably, with your credit and everything, you'll probably need at least $100K down. If you have great credit, excellent credit, you can get away with $50K down. But the best thing to do is to save your money. So these guys didn't graduate high school. How are they going to save money to buy a business? They can't. They have to start from the ground up. It's kind of sad. I grew up with these guys, but that's how life goes, man. When you are lollygagging, not taking it seriously, stuff like that can happen to you. But now you become an adult. Now, shit gets serious. No, man, shit been serious. I'm not even gonna lie. These successful white kids, they've been taking shit serious since they was in middle school, bro. They're in middle school like, I got to get good grades to get into good college. Just thinking about that in middle school. Like elementary school is when they had their fun, man. Middle school comes around, they're like, I got to get these good grades. I got to prepare myself for high school. In high school, I got to prepare myself for college. Got to get into the good college. In college, I got to prepare myself for the field. After college, I got to prepare myself for interviews. After the interview, got to prepare myself to rank up in the job. After you rank up in the job, okay, I got to prepare myself so I'm prepared for my job. They're never done, and they're always prepared for the next thing. That's what we need to do as minorities. Two of these dudes that got the one that got their GED was Indian. The one that didn't get their GED or diploma was Indian, and one was white. None of them were black. So these are They come from communities where they take college very seriously, take education very seriously. They should have got this stuff, man. There's no excuse in the 2020s, 2010s, 2000s. After 2000, there's no excuse to not graduate high school, man. That means you just don't give a fuck. You're not thinking about the future, man, if you don't graduate high school. You know how many job applications say you need a high school diploma or GED, high school diploma or equivalent? That's what you need to get any job, basically, that pays over $15 an hour, $18 an hour. So I don't know what they're going to do, but if they go back, they'd have to start their GED over because it's probably been too many years. It can't, keep that rollback. That's what I was doing. But hey, that's life. You take it serious at early age or late age, hopefully early age. But hopefully you guys don't make that same mistake that these dudes made. Always graduate high school. If you go to college, always graduate. You're paying good money to go to college. Graduate that shit. Man, I graduate next December. That's when I plan to graduate. Got 4 classes left. Get the fuck out of there, man. Maybe go get my master's after a couple years once I get some rest from the school shit. Man, been in school most of my life. But hey, man, always get your GED. Always get your diploma. Always get your diploma, but if you have to get a GED, make sure you finish and get that GED. I heard GEDs are easy. Another dude that I knew, he got a GED. He was telling me, oh, yeah, you can pick art. You just doing art shit all day. How can you not do some art all day and pass and get your GED? They handing them out at this point. You don't need to take a math test or nothing. And you know what's crazy? If I brought up to these dudes, if I brought up to them, oh, why didn't you graduate this? Bring up the topic. They'll be like, Drake didn't graduate high school. He got his GED. He didn't need that. Drake was a childhood actor. That's why he didn't go to high school. He didn't go. He had to get a GED, and he got his GED because he was smart enough. He light-skinned, light-skinned niggas. But he got his GED. He didn't fail. You failed at something that you took 4 or 5 years to do. How you take 4 or 5 years on something and don't even complete it? You got to complete the mission. You got to complete the goal in everything that you do. That shows character. That if you show me in your character that you gave up or didn't finish something that you spent years on, you can get the fuck out of my face, man. You can get the fuck out of my face, man. You got to complete the goal and whatever it is. You got to complete it. That's how life goes. Complete your first couple goals. Once you can't work on something for 10 years and not get progress till the 10th year, you got to be able to do stuff like that. Not get progress till your 10th year in. Then you get progress. Then you grow exponentially. In 6 months, in year 10, that's when you blow. That's when you make money. That's when, you know what I'm saying? That you got to keep going. You can't let go. And I've seen so many people let go. Go on to the next thing. Like, I bet you if his business doesn't work out for him, he don't start making money from it, at least $20K a year, he's going to quit that too. Then what? What do he got now? He don't got a GED. He don't got a diploma. Well, how is he going to get money? How's he going to get money? How? It's too hard out here. You get your diploma. It's way too hard out here. It's not get your damn GED. Get your GED, bro. Get your diploma, bro. I seen too many people not get them. They're struggling, bro. Living with their parents. Don't have a girl. The girls they messing with is broke as hell, drug addicts. They can't get nothing better, man. They can't get nothing better. Because they don't even got a diploma. Like, imagine you telling a girl that you went to, a bougie girl, bougie bad girl, you telling her, oh, I don't even have a GED or a diploma. Well, we 6 months into the relationship, you don't have a GED or diploma. I'm leaving. You know how these girls be. I'm leaving. She don't want to be with you. You're not educated, bro. You're not educated, bro. No offense, but there's people with mental disabilities who got their diploma and GED. So you basically showing that they have more perseverance than you, or you're stupider than them. They're smarter than you. I mean, they got their diploma, bro. They can get the job. You can't. So not everybody will disclose they have a disability on the application. You can't tell everybody that has a disability if they're disabled. Like you can't tell. So if you got that GED, that diploma, you're winning, I guess, compared to them. Yeah.